President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate deployment of 4 of the newly appointed ambassadors designate. Those affected are Professor Tijani Bande, who has been posted to the permanent mission of Nigeria at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Mr. Teboje Samson, who will serve as his deputy, also at the UN. Others are Mr. Kadri Ayinla Audu, who is now Nigeria's ambassador to the permanent mission of Nigeria at the United Nations offices in Geneva, and Mr. Bankole Adeoye, who is now Nigeria's ambassador to the Embassy of Nigeria and permanent mission at the African Union in Addis Ababa. The deployments are with immediate effect, and the President wishes the new ambassadors the very best in their assignments. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Television Authority has a new board led by former newspaper editor and former presidential spokesman Duro Onobule. President Muhammadu Buhari today approved the new board, which consists of 6 others. A statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, also announced the appointment of a new Director General for the National Council of Arts and Culture, Mr. Olusegun Runshowe. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, will also serve as the Chairman of the National Emergency Management Agency, while Mr. Mustafa Mehaja is to serve as the agency's Director General. According to the President's Special Advisor on Media, the appointments are to take immediate effect. For details of members of the new boards and their directors as approved by the President, I encourage you to visit our website, channelstv.com. The Nigeria Broadcasting Commission has extended the deadline for payment of outstanding license fees by broadcast stations in the country by 3 months. This was announced in Abuja today by the Director General of the NBC, Mr. Modibo Kawu, who stated that the new deadline is now June 30, 2017. The NBC DG praised the leadership of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, led by its chairman, Mr. John Momo, for spearheading an initiative to bring together broadcast organizations and officials of the NBC to work out modalities leading to a final solution on the matter.
All stations are given an extended period of 3 months till June 30, 2017 to conclude discussions with the NBC on their payment plans, including a firm commitment to pay these monies within the 3 months by June 30th, 2017. In the meantime, the NBC would issue a statement of account to all licensees and allow a reasonable time for reconciliation within the month of April 2017. This issuance of statement of account would be for the publicly owned and private stations alike, so as to assist the publicly owned stations to seek approvals within government systems that can be very slow, and the opportunity would also be offered for the private stations to seek funds from financial institutions to be able to settle their indebtedness. The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, will work even more closely with the licensees through the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria and BON and the related bodies like APCON to assist in ensuring that monies owed licensees are fully paid and in time, especially advertising monies. I want to acknowledge the role played by the leadership of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON, and especially the chairman, Mr. John Momo, and the executive secretary, Mr. Segun Olale.
Tossing over now to Ivy Clem in Abuja for more on the news at 10. Hi, Ivy.
Hello, Amarachi. A case has been made for more press freedom for Nigerian journalists by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. This formed the core of a presentation by the Information and Communications Officer at the UNESCO Regional Office, Mr. Macaulay Olushola, who was speaking in Abuja at a meeting ahead of the 2017 World Press Freedom Day. He said government and international agencies have a role to play in protecting journalists who put their lives at risk in keeping the public informed.
Nigeria has a highly vibrant media. Some of the media houses openly criticize unpopular government policies. Nevertheless, self-censorship, physical assaults and intimidation, along with impunity for crimes against journalists, remain major concerns.
depending on the time you are given.
This meeting, organized by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization ahead of the World Press Freedom Day, is one that hopes to raise consciousness about the profession and seek the assistance of government in helping journalists perform their duties without fear or intimidation.
We keep doing it to make sure that those who are supposed to hear about it, and the journalists themselves know that they have to play to the rule, they have to play to the conduct of the code of conduct of the profession. It's all about inclusive society. Everybody has to play his part. It's not going to be one-day job. We keep singing the song until everybody dances to it.
In recent times, many journalists have been charged with criminal defamation, though in most cases, the charges were eventually dropped. One of the most serious cases involved leadership newspaper editor Tony Amokedo and political correspondent Chibuzo Okwibe, who were charged in 2013 over the publication of a memo allegedly written by then-President Goodluck Jonathan on plans to increase fuel prices and disrupt the merger of opposition political parties. According to a survey by the Media Foundation for West Africa, Nigeria recorded 11 violations of press freedom in the second quarter of 2015, the most in the 16 countries analyzed during the period.
We want to have a one-day workshop to discuss issues relating to safety of journalists, vis-a-vis the issue that UNESCO believe that relate to fake news, hate speech, radicalization. And we are using this occasion to really bring the journalists together and advocate to the government on their role in keeping the journalists safe in the society while they are performing their profession.
May the 3rd of every year is a day set aside to celebrate the fundamental principles of press freedom, to evaluate press freedom around the world, to defend the media from attacks on their independence, and to pay tribute to journalists who have lost their lives in the exercise of their profession.
It's estimated that over 25 million persons are living with HIV in sub-Saharan Africa, with adolescent girls and young women accounting for 25% of new infections, according to UNAIDS 2016 statistics. In Taraba State, northeast Nigeria, out of over 55,000 persons tested for HIV, about 10.5% tested positive, and only 32,000 have access to medical treatment. However, the state government says it has, through the activities of its agencies, reduced these figures significantly.
According to the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Nigeria has the second largest population of people living with HIV in the world. Taraba State, northeast Nigeria, has the second highest HIV prevalence rate in Nigeria. The Taraba State Agency for the Control of AIDS takes some journalists around specialist hospitals and HIV centers in Jalingo, the state capital. The facility was set up to help lower the number of infections.
From 2015 to February this year, we had to go across the state for HIV testing and counseling campaigns, and we have tested over 55,000. And as we are aware, the last official prevalence rate of Taraba State is 10.5. But from what we have seen, from the various activities we have conducted, what we have seen is less than 10%.
It seems not enough is being done, especially in the area of equipment. Coordinator of the HIV office at the Federal Medical Center appeals to the government to make the facilities more efficient.
Currently, as it is, Abraham, I think only one of them is working, the CD4 count, and then the PCR machine is the only one in the whole of this state, and even Adamawa and Northeast. We have one in Borno, but you see, you know how Borno is very far. But we just got some reagents recently, and it was out for almost 6 months. So you see, it's a very big problem for us. You can imagine only one machine and then down for 6 months.
It was the American government that was supporting Taraba and Abia. But when they left, government of Nigeria took over the funding of the two states, and is solely funded by the federal government of Nigeria. Those are the only two states that we don't have any support. It's only federal government of Nigeria that is supporting.
Experts believe adequate provision of healthcare facilities for those currently infected, as well as the continuous awareness of the public on HIV and AIDS education, will help lower the risk of infection.
Meanwhile, some northern states affected by meningitis have continued the fight against the disease, and the Kano state government says it is intensifying efforts in sensitizing its people on the epidemic. At a news briefing, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Kabiru Getso, said the state has recorded 20 suspected cases, 4 of which have been confirmed. He added that 2 cases of Lassa fever have also been confirmed.
To contain the spread of these diseases, Kano state government has put in place the following measures. The state government has approved 90 billion naira to enable Ministry of Health to mount aggressive response to combat these diseases. Surveillance at all levels of healthcare delivery have been strengthened and intensified, and we have also reactivated the rapid response team that will respond to reported cases of meningitis and Lassa fever. We have procured anti-position drugs and other vital consumables in our major health facilities, and we have sensitized our healthcare workers on CSM and Lassa fever, especially on case definition and prompt treatment of this condition. I therefore call on all of us to ensure that we sleep in well-ventilated rooms, avoid overcrowding, especially at night, vomiting, diarrhea, facial swelling, and bleeding from the nose, eyes, and other body orifices should be promptly referred to the nearest health facility for appropriate medical attention.
When the news at 10 returns, Central Bank of Nigeria confirms adequate supply of foreign exchange available to retail customers of commercial banks. That's on Business News. Join us again.